Hey YouTube, this is Facia with Simply Lavish at Home, and today I'm bringing you a brand new Dollar Tree craft. Now at this point I'm just making stuff to come up with something new. So today I took a few dollar store items and made them into a new take on the candlestick. Check it out.
For this project I started with the glass ball vases and the glass candle base. I decided to go with the plate for the top and some glass beads. You'll notice from this video that the two vases are a little bit different in size because one I'm making very tall, so I wanted to have a larger base, hoping to add some stability, and that's also the purpose for the glass beads. You also need some vinyl gloves, mirror effect spray paint. A lot of people use a E6000 for crafts like this. I decided to go with a two-part epoxy, glass epoxy that you get at a hardware store, hoping to add some more strength to the bonds because I find after a while E6000 can separate, and I want to make this as permanent as possible, and also you'll need a level. So to start, mix only a little bit of the two-part epoxy at a time. It does dry rather quickly, so it's really easy to use. You see it comes in its little plunger, and you just pour it out into the tray that's actually part of the packaging. And I start to use that to glue my pieces together. So I started with the base, adhering that base to the bottom, which the base is going to be that candle base. So I'm using that and spreading it onto the flat surface because I wanted to give a nice strong bond, so I'm making sure it covers that entire thing. And because it takes a little bit of time to set, you make sure that you are on a level surface and you kind of hold it a bit into its place because it will want to slide a little bit. So then again, I'm checking for level. The next, I am gluing together two pieces. So I didn't stack this one, glue, stack another, and then glue again. I did this in pieces because I wanted to make sure that these had a chance to bond together in as little time as possible. So I did like a set of two and then another set of two and let those dry, and then brought those two together. Again, only mixing a bit of the epoxy at a time. So here, because I have an opening and a bottom of a vase joining together, you really have to hold it and make sure that things stay level, because with the epoxy being kind of soft, they'll slide a little bit because they're not meant to sit like that. And then again, here we have two edges that are going to meet together because this is going to be the one where I make it 5 vases tall, and I need that flat surface to be on the top where I'll affix it to the plate. So two edges of a vase are going to meet together. So again, here I'm really careful as to making sure that the edges meet and that the surface is level. And now I'm ready to affix the top. So again, with my epoxy, spreading it on that top, making sure that it's a nice even coat, and I'm gonna place the plate on top. Again, making sure that eyeballing it to make sure that it's perfectly centered. So again, the epoxy is soft. Here we again want to make sure that everything is level, and you'll see I have to adjust it a little bit because it'll slide one way or another. So, but I do want that perfectly centered. So, and the nice thing about the epoxy, it is rather forgiving. So it takes about 5 minutes to set, but then you want it to cure as well. So if you see things start to slide, you still have time to adjust and readjust and make sure that everything works together. For the tallest of them is 5 vases tall, but I wanted it to be extremely stable, and I already knew that I was going to paint them. They weren't going to be absolutely clear, so I decided to put in those glass beads. Also, enough beads so the thing is entirely filled. I don't want the beads to be able to move around, because if they move around, they're likely to break the vase on the bottom. So I packed them in there really tight and placed bottom down the rest of the assembly on top of that. So everything is assembled except that last bit. So there I am holding it down, making sure everything is level. And again here, because the two edges aren't really meant to be adjoined like that, I made sure I held it until it's time that it was able to set on its own. So for this project, you're going to want to have something to either watch or listen to while you're doing it for these parts like this. You can see how clear that epoxy dries. So everything is crystal clear, and it turned out really nice. I think I was happy with the strength of the bond so far and how clear it dried. Even if you have a little bit that may seep out, it doesn't really affect the final look of the product. So that was nice about that. And since I'm making this look like mercury glass, and again I didn't use thing in the bottom because those are kind of short, but again I'm going to move on to the mirror effect. And that requires the mirror effect and then the solution of vinegar and water. And then you go in and you spray the candles with vinegar and water and then the mirror effect. And then once you've covered it, just lightly dab away the excess water. And I went over it about 3 different coats to build up to the coverage that I wanted. And I'm actually doing this in a makeshift spray tint. So that's just some Dollar Tree foam board in the back that I was able to use to guard the rest of the room from spray back. And then here they are. You see I made a couple of different sizes. I think the finish turned out really nicely. And honestly, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them just yet. They'll probably end up in some manner of tablescape. They may end up on a wedding aisle or altar. It's a great place to set a candle or a flower topiary. So keep watching to see exactly what I do with those. They'll definitely be showing up in some other YouTube videos.
So let me know what you think. Leave your comments below and don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you're not already, subscribe to Simply Lavish at Home and hit that little bell to let you know every time Simply Lavish posts a video. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. And my website information is below. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, here's to living simply lavishly. Cheers.